Trauma could be hiding in a closet because you hear a lot of arguing. Trauma could be not feeling loved, feeling rejected, feeling abandoned, not feeling like you have any value or worth. Trauma could be any of those things that can disrupt what is supposed to be normal in your life. When you recognize that, for example, my relationship with money has not always been the best. I grew up in situations where there was a lot of lack. And when I say lack, it wasn't a destitute of lack. I just saw my mother working 2 and 3 jobs to make sure that we always had a roof over our head, clothes over our back, fresh fruit to eat, food to eat, and to participate in some extracurricular activities. But I saw the struggle and the pain in her face. I saw the struggle and the pain of her experiences. Her hard work and diligence to not feel impoverished began for her as a sharecropper's daughter. And so that carried on in her need to make sure that she provided. Well, my negative relationship with money came from not knowing how to handle money, watching that robbing Peter to Paul process, becoming a single mother, still not having a good foundation with money handling, and robbing Peter to pay Paul, trying to make up for where folks didn't show up and do what they needed to do. But I had to decide with myself, am I operating in my real reality or is it residue? My real reality, I made enough money and I make enough money to never have to live from paycheck to paycheck. I make enough money, used efficiently and effectively, I can have a life of luxury. However, I had to recognize that the residue of what was still hanging around as a child was driving my overspending. It was driving my inability to say no. It was driving my need to have something new or whatever it is, or that feeling of I can get whatever I want to. I'm not suffering. But the suffering was still there. How was the suffering still there? It was still there because even though I wasn't reaching out asking people to help me do this or do that, I was putting myself at a stress point, trying to make up for the lack of things I didn't have as a child and abusing the money that was entrusted with me because of my gifts, because of what I'm called to do. I had to make a decision if I was going to live in residue or if I was going to live in reality. So I had to start doing some self check ins with Marcia. Hey, what are you spending that money for? Is it absolutely something that you need right now? Now, I am not recovered fully from bad money management. I'm still working on that because I got grandbabies. And if they ask me for something, very seldomly will I say no. So I'm still working on that aspect of it. But the Peter to Paul aspect, I don't allow that to dictate how I make my decision.